Hello, and welcome to Roll for Question, the stream where a veteran DM offers to answer any questions you might have about Dungeons and Dragons. Feel free to ask them in the chat and in the comments. And in the meantime, what I'm going to be doing is making some homebrew. So what I've really not been looking forward to is making NPCs. I said last week, I'm going to make NPCs. I don't want to. I don't have the inspiration for that. And I'm not really in control of that. Inspiration, I find, comes and goes. And you've got to capture it when it comes. And when it's not there, you can't make it. You can't just make it happen. Like it doesn't work that way. So what I am inspired to do is work on inspiration. What we have here on screen. I find that inspiration is an excellent place to start. If you're new to game design, if you're new to like homebrewing, there are several components in Dungeons and Dragons that the designers of the game kind of didn't do much with. They kind of left it open-ended, left it there. And I find that those points, inspiration is one, hit dice are another, backgrounds are another, where it's like there's a mechanic here. There's a discrete mechanic. The designers put this here, but they didn't do much with it. Like, heroic inspiration is a thing the DM awards whenever they think you're cool, or whenever you make the DM think that you deserve inspiration, you get it, and you can spend it on a roll. That's it. There's a little more in 2024 D&D, because I think humans get inspiration every long rest, which is weird. That's not... I would not have recommended that if they had asked me, which no one asked me, so, I'll just shut up now. But there's a resource here that if you're a new DM, a designer, a new homebrewer, try plugging something into here to make it work, to sort of build that out. Hey, hi, Misha Strife. How's it going? You have these are good starting points. And if you make something and it sucks, it doesn't break the game as hard as like if you add a mechanic. If you add like called shots, and now all of a sudden every combat is called shots all the time. If you make something that attaches to heroic inspiration and it's terrible, it's garbage. Worst case scenario is the DM doesn't award inspiration anymore, like except for humans. The stakes are lower. The stakes for failure are lower. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cook up some alternative uses for heroic inspiration. Now, before I proceed, I just want to comment that I really appreciate the changes that they made to inspiration in 2024. Because in 2014, heroic inspiration is just called inspiration. Said, when you have inspiration, you can spend it to gain advantage on a roll. And they changed that in 2024 because I'm pretty sure what actually happened, I don't actually know. I haven't done a poll or a query or anything, but they made the change, so this is probably the case. I'm pretty sure the way most people played this was that they played it to where it's a reroll, not that it's advantage on a roll. So, like, you would roll a d20, you would see it as a 2, you'd go, oh, wait, I have inspiration, and then you'd roll another d20, and then you'd see that's a 17 and be like, got it. I'm pretty sure that's how most people play it. That's the only way I saw it played in every table that I've ever played at or watched. So they changed it in 2024 so that it's a reroll, and I love that. That is good. There are some mechanics you design, and you're like, this is a good mechanic, I designed it, and then you bring it to the table, and the players are like, this is, I think I understand this mechanic. I have mastered it, and then they play it, and they play it completely wrong. But they consistently play it completely wrong. They're consistently like misreading your rule. You know, you just got to accept that like your players found a better rule, and you should just take the credit for that. You can't fight your players if they want to play it a certain way. And if everyone's consistently doing that, you know, that's not just a sign of like, well, you know, maybe the wording could be tightened up a little, or I could really like encourage. Like, if everyone's consistently doing that, they found a better rule, and you should just accept that, because if you accept it, you can take the credit for it. Anyway, let us start our document. Inspiration, cool. Let's make that bigger. That's not okay. That's heading 1, really? That's the biggest? Whatever. Could have swore that was bigger text. So, before I get started, again, I've said that so many times now. I've kind of been nervous about just designing mechanics on stream because designing monsters and designing magic items is a very creative process, and designing mechanics is a bit more cerebral. So I might be a lot quieter, and I'm just thinking. But what I thought about as a starting point for this is, so simple option: add additional bonuses for spending inspiration. You get inspiration, you can spend it on reroll for a d20, or for example, you can do bonus damage on an attack. That's a really bad one. I don't like that. But these are just examples. A classic example that I've seen in a lot of TTRPGs that are more story focused would be like, you can manifest a story element. Minor story element. You can spend your inspiration to make it so that someone has rope. It's not weird that someone has rope, but you've got to, like, just wanting there to be rope doesn't make it happen unless you have inspiration. Inspiration can be spent to do something like get a first level spell slot back. Get a first level. I don't know. What would be some better things? Because my goal is inspiration could be more creative, more useful, plug into the game more than just a reroll on a d20. Manifesting a minor story element is too vague. Bonus damage on an attack is too specific and kind of lame. Getting a first level spell slot back only benefits casters. Like, it'd be cool if there was like if each class maybe had a line that was like, okay, you're a fighter, you can spend your inspiration to do a backflip. Jump really far. You can spend your inspiration. You're a barbarian. You can spend your inspiration to get extra angry. Let's say deeper rage. Cleric. Divine intervention. If divine intervention wasn't a thing, I'd be like, divine intervention. Like, you could get your god to be like, sup. Slap. You can get your deity to offer a I don't want to say sign, but like a word of a vague clue. Bard? I have no idea what a bard might do. If there was a class-specific usage for inspiration, bard could inspire others, but what would a bard do with inspiration? I mean, this is just spitballing. So you can give everyone else inspiration, but bards already have that. So let's try again. Bards, what would they do with heroic inspiration? What could they do? Inspire himself? I don't I don't particularly get back more inspiration? Can't bards inspire themselves already? Let me just do a quick check. Look at the bard class on the basic rules. Self-inspiration. Yeah, another creature. Okay. You can inspire yourself. You can spend inspiration to give yourself a d6, and we'll give the d20 roll on top of that, or not the d20, the reroll on top of that, because I think it might be upsetting if you had to choose between getting a d6 or getting a reroll on a d20. Cleric already did. Druids. What could druids do? Druids are inspired. An inspired druid could... Huh. Let me go to the druid class. Why is this not the druid class? There we go. uh... Make something druidy. No. Cover something in plants. Okay. Something with wild shapes? You can wild shape? No. Wild companions? Druid? Okay. Druids are spellcasters and wild shapers. Man, they don't got a lot. Huh. We'll come back to Druid. We'll come back. Fighter. I already wrote you can jump really far, but is that really a fighter thing? That seems kind of silly. Fighters want to fight. They don't want to jump. You can do something cool with a weapon. What would that be? I know what we could do. You know what we could do? Where's the Battle Master? The Battle Master is not in the basic rules, is it? Just the champion. Fine. You can do a Battle Master maneuver without spending a maneuver dice, even if you don't have the maneuver. I don't know how to spell maneuver. It's not Manu ever. It's Manu. Oh, it's because I have too many E's. Okay. Maybe that's fine. Anyone can be a battle master with heroic inspiration, and you can do any battle master feature. Maybe. Can we retrofit that onto the druid? Retrofit that thinking onto the druid. You can wild shape even if you're not a druid. No, that's stupid. You can you can cast any druid cantrip as a bonus action. You can spend your inspiration and cast produce flame. What are the druid cantrips? I don't even. Is Toll the Dead a druid cantrip? Is Toll the Dead even in this? Probably not. This isn't going to let me sort by cantrip, is it? Cantrip. Not Chill Touch. Not Dancing Lights. Druidcraft. Guidance. Oh, guidance is pretty good. A light. No, not light. Just kidding. Mending. Message. Poison spray. Okay. You can spend your inspiration to cast poison spray as a bonus action. Produce flame. Resistance. Shillelagh, but that's already a bonus action. All right. Sure, that's fine. This is fine. Not great, but this is just spitballing. The next class I believe was Monk. Yeah, Monk. Monk would want to jump really far. Um, you could jump really far. That feels like a monk thing to be like, I will jump 50 feet in the air. Maybe that's not actually that cool. I don't know. Spends your inspiration to go anywhere. Spend your inspiration to dodge one attack. That's a bit too much. That's a bit too much. Is it? That would probably be the most powerful thing on this list. So let's try again. Maybe +5 to AC for one attack. Let me make that a different one. A little better? A little better? Maybe we winnow that down a little more. But that's good enough to move on. Paladin. What's the thing a paladin might do? An inspired paladin. Something cool. They're all about smiting, right? They're all about smiting. They're all about... This is not the paladin. They have healing. They've got smiting. They've got a little spell casting. Maybe maybe use an inspiration to channel divinity? Is that anything? That's not any. That's not. Paladins don't care about channel divinity. What are they? They got turn undead and they got divine sense, right? Oh, but their subclass also gives them. What is the channel divinity for devotion? Oh, sacred weapon. Okay, you can use channel divinity to imbue one melee weapon that you're holding. They add their charisma damage. They add their charisma 2 damage. Okay. So I'm not sure if you get an additional channel divinity. It's very inspiring. I don't know. Jeez. Lay on hands. I got it. I got it. Okay, okay. You can instantly lay on hands a target within 60 feet. Uh, if that creature would die, you can save them. You can spend your inspiration to lay on hands at range, not using an action, and you can use it in response to them dying. I don't know. I don't know. That might not be good. That might need to be cooked a little harder. But Ranger is all about being survivally in the wilds, all about having range. It's in the name. The ranger is ranged. They have a favorite enemy. I don't know. What would a good ranger? Ranger inspiration. So all that's coming to mind is like if the ranger shoots their favored foe. But I don't want to just be like, then they do bonus damage, because I think it already does that. Oh no, they have Hunter's Mark, but extra damage is already one of our things. That's like the very first thing. You hit a target. I don't even like the idea of like you hit a target, you can spend your inspiration to do something. I think inspiration is better as more of like a bad thing happens and you really don't want it to happen. Spend your inspiration to get bailed out. Spend your inspiration to ignore cover. No. Spend your inspiration to... All right. What kind of situation where you'd have a ranger and there's a problem and the ranger's like, guys, I got this. What would they be doing? What would that problem even be? Something to do with exploration. You can spend your inspiration to put rope anywhere, of any length, and the party can cross it. Its weight limit is unlimited. Magic rope. Magic crap. I don't know. No. That's not rangery at all. You can spend your inspiration to gain a climb speed equal to twice your movement speed for the next minute. All right, these went from vague to mechanical, and also this went from like bonus damage, minor story element. You can jump really far. You can turn an attack from a hit to a miss. You can instantly lay on hands a target. You gain a climb speed. Okay, so there's some gears in my head that have clearly activated, and some other gears that are like, we don't need to be here. We're gonna go ahead and go to sleep. I don't know if I like it. But I'm just gonna keep going. By the time we get to Wizard, it's gonna be like, the Wizard can cast a 6th level spell on Tuesday, and they could do it at 150 feet instead of the normal range. But in order to do so, they need to have 2 arcane focus. It's gonna be some bonkers, stupid. I don't know what is going on in my brain. How about Rogue? Rogues. An inspired rogue. Spend your inspiration. Choose an object that a creature is holding. You now have that object. That's no roll necessary. Just skip the roll. Go straight to stealing. You instantly steal 1 object you can see within reach. I said it, so I'm gonna write it down. I don't know. There's probably a better one. Sorcerer. Sorcerers are great because they get this thing called sorcerer spell points, and I feel like sorcerer spell points are one of those features that are ripe for homebrewers to mess with, because there's not much that integrates with them, and they don't get used that much. They're, in my experience, you can either be a sorcerer that is min-maxed and you really spend your sorcerer points on like heightened spell, maximize damage, or you can be the kind of sorcerer that picks like clever, sideways, fancy metamagics. What are the lists? I can point at the metamagic options. Here we go. You can be the kind of sorcerer who picks like empowered spell, and you're like, I'm gonna do more damage with my spells. Or is it twin spell? Is twin spell even? Yeah, you can pick twin spell. Your goal is to be optimized and do a lot of damage. Or you can be the kind who's like, I'll take subtle spell and I'll take distant spell so that my range is slightly longer. And it's like the situations where you get to use these metamagics are very rare. They're very infrequent unless you make them happen. So what tends to happen is you spend most of your sorcery points on making spell slots, or you don't spend them at all. And I feel like if you want to be an aspiring designer, design some options for sorcerers to use their spell points. It doesn't have to be metamagic. It doesn't have to be like, make more metamagic options. It doesn't have to even be a sorcerer feature. It could be like a feat. It could be a magic item. It could be like, here's a sorcerer healing potion. It only heals sorcerers. It heals them more, but they have to spend a spell point to get the healing. It's like, yeah, that's cool. I think there's tons of design space here in this feature, in this class. Anyway, I completely got off track. I need to think of, if a sorcerer had inspiration, and we were designing class-specific inspiration benefits, sorcerer metamagic, sorcerer points is that's an easy one then. You know, all that just slotted into place. You can use a metamagic without spending sorcerer points, even if you don't know the metamagic. You can spend your inspiration to cast a spell with distance spell, even though you don't have distance spell, or quicken spell, or seeking spell. I don't know. I think that's a copy of the Druid. The Druid. You can cast any Druid cantrip as a bonus action, even if you don't know it. Oh, or the Battle Master maneuver. Actually, Battle Master maneuver is what I was thinking. Is what I just copied. Warlock. Okay. How would a warlock spend inspiration? What is a cool thing that a warlock could do with inspiration? Let's take a look at our warlock class. They are all about making a pact. Maybe they can leverage their pact. Magical cunning. They get invocations, cantrips. I like the idea of doing something really powerful and then having to pay for it. Like, you can cast Eldritch Blast 3 times, but then you lose all your spell slots until you long rest. Not that. Not exactly what I said. That's not going on the list. But something in that ballpark. Something in that ballpark. Well, I'm going to write, you can do a cool thing, but afterwards, you lose all your packed slots until you finish a long rest. That's what they're called, right? Pack slots. Pack magic spell slots. What's the cool thing a warlock can do? What rules would be really fun to break as a warlock? Invoke invocation they don't have. That's a safe pick. Let me look at the invocation list. So like agonizing blast. I don't know if that's worth trading your spell slots, but mage armor, levitate. Yeah, okay. You can do a cool thing. You gain an invocation. Afterwards, you lose all your pack magic spells. Okay. Yeah. You gain an invocation you don't already have for 1 minute. So, pick one. Pick any of these. I think that's cool. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, yeah. You can use your inspiration to cast Arcane Eye. You can use your inspiration to cast Jump on Yourself. That's sufficiently weird. Yeah. And then for Wizard, you can cast a 6th level spell without using a spell slot on Tuesdays, but you can't. I can't even remember the rest of the jank I said. Well, let's look at the Wizard. I feel like actually this is pretty easy. You can swap, you can instantly unprepare and prepare a spell. Spend your inspiration. You can spend your inspiration to rememorize, to re-prepare all your spells. You can swap out spells from your spell book instantly. does not refresh slots. I think that's a bad one. I think what I just said is not good. That's very anti-wizard, because wizard's all about like, just as I planned. I have a spell for that in my book, and I prepared it. And this inspiration thing says like, you don't need to have a plan. Just here. You're prepared for everything. But I wrote it down, and there's no bad ideas in a brainstorm, so. Okay. So now that we have all these ideas, this is something that we can twist. Twist some of these into good ideas. Can we? Okay. Also, it would be really nice if these weren't like super like this one requires you to have a spell book. If you don't have a spell book, it's useless. And I appreciate that these are like, I made this for the wizard, but I would like for any class to be able to use this. I don't want it to be, I mean, I would like to be worded in such a way that any class can use it. So okay, clerics are a prepared spellcaster. If you can change your prepared spells, you can swap out your spells as if you just did a long rest. There we go. Fixed. I don't have to worry about that one. You can instantly lay on hands. How about instead of saying instantly lay on hands, you can instantly channel 10 hit points to a target. 5 hit points to a target within 60 feet. No, that's lame. Let's think about this. You can spend 5 hit points from the pool of healing power to remove the poison condition. Okay. They're within 60 feet of them. Healing them 5 hit points or removing the poisoned condition from them. You save their life. Okay. Get a first level spell slot back. Okay, you can jump really far. Great. You can deepen your rage. Okay, let's think about this. So a rage. You get resistance to damage. You do more damage on an attack. You have advantage on strength checks and saving throws. You can't maintain concentration. You can't cast spells. Okay, so strength advantage. Maybe we can leverage that. I don't know. Okay. How would I make a rage bigger? How would I make it better? You have resistance to some damage. There's already a thing that makes you resistance to more damage. I don't particularly want to go down the route of you're even tougher. Barbarian toughness doesn't need to be touched. Rage damage. Hmm. Hmm. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Uh, okay. Barbarian. What's a thing? What's a if I wanted to give someone a rage like quality, reckless attack, I feel like is a good way to. Hmm. Hmm. Giving advantage on an attack roll is basically what inspiration already does, so I don't want to do that. Oh man, come on. You can deepen your rage. How about your attacks deal an additional... Oh, that's already... You can do bonus damage. Damn it. I was going to say, you can do an additional 1d10 damage on each attack. That's the first one. I already thought that one. Fast movement, something to do with fast movement. Advantage on initiative rolls. And as part of the bonus action you take to enter your rage, you move half your speed. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know. I'm just going to brainstorm for a second. I'm going to be right back. Again. Just 60 seconds. Okay. I just had a thought. So there's a subclass called the Berserker. You have immunity to charm and frighten conditions while your rage is active. Can we do that for like? You can spend your inspiration to become immune to conditions. You can spend your inspiration to automatically succeed on strength saving throws for the next minute, and you become immune to paralysis. You can't be restrained or paralyzed. Oh, that's just freedom of movement. Whatever, I already wrote it down. Okay, bonus damage, manifest. I can't make this better. First level spell slot, that's okay. Jump really far. 30 feet. Your speed. Up to your speed. Deepen your rage. You can get your deity to offer a vague clue. You can give everyone else inspiration. You can inspire yourself. Top of the reroll. You can do something cool with your weapon. Just prevent an infinite loop from happening here. Okay, you can do something cool with your weapon. A battle master maneuver without spending a maneuver dice. Yeah. Cast any druid cantrip as a bonus action. You can jump really far. Up to 4x your speed. You can turn one attack against you from a hit to a miss. You can add 5 to your AC against one attack. You can instantly channel positive energy. Okay, this is really long. Gain a climb speed equal to twice your movement speed for the next minute. You instantly steal one object from another creature within reach. You can use a meta magic without spending sorcerer points, even if you don't know the meta magic. You can gain an invocation that you don't already have for 1 minute. Afterwards, you lose all your packed magic spell slots until you finish a long rest. Okay, so if you're not a warlock, let me think about that. If you're not a okay, so if you are a warlock, that sucks. But if you're not a warlock, what if we say instead of losing all your afterwards you can't cast spells? Spend spell slots until you finish a long rest. Okay, let's look at these from the perspective of I'm not a warlock. And I know all of these have the prerequisite. Oh, no, they don't. They don't all have the prerequisite be a warlock. Agonizing Blast, it doesn't matter that much. It doesn't ruin anything. Armor of Shadows, Levitate. You can see normally in dim light and darkness. That's cool. Extra attack of your Thirsting Blade. That doesn't mean anything if you don't already have Thirsting Blade. Advantage on Constitution. Okay, whatever. Once per turn, you hit a creature with your packed weapon. If you don't have a packed weapon, this doesn't do anything. Choose one of your known warlock cantrips that deals damage and has a range of 10 feet. Whatever. Actually, didn't this wasn't this a lot better in 2014? Plus 10 feet? Oh no, plus 30 feet times your warlock. Oh, times your warlock level. Okay, never mind. That is good. Also, it doesn't do anything if you're not a warlock. Because 30 times 0 is 0. False life. Bonus action to touch a willing creature and perceive through its senses until the end of your next turn. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. You can breathe underwater and you gain a swim speed equal to your speed. A new page appears in your Book of Shadows. You don't have a Book of Shadows, who cares? When you cast Find Familiar, you infuse the Summon Familiar with a measure of your Eldritch power, granting the creature the following benefits. Aerial or aquatic. Okay, this is absolutely... I would not let... This is problematic if other people can cast this spell, ignoring the prerequisites. You can spend your inspiration to create a flying... To give your familiar fly speed. Wait, that's not problematic. Most familiars already have a fly speed. Oh, as a bonus action, you can command the familiar to take the attack action. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a problem. That's probably not what it's actually called. Oh, it is actually. Investment of the Chainmaster. Lessons of the first ones. You just get a feat? Oh god, that's gonna be... Now we have to look at all the feats. You can spend your inspiration to gain lessons of the first ones, which gives you a feat for a minute. Life drink, okay. Don't have a pack weapon, this doesn't matter. This is fine. This is fine. You can cast a spell. Like, I already wrote that. Oh, no, I didn't. That's fine, though. Silent image without casting a spell slot. You can cast invisibility on yourself without spending a spell slot. You can cast jump on yourself. Pact of the Blade. Is this an invocation? Are the pacts invocations, really? How does that work? They are invocations. Okay, so you can just take all... Has it always been like that? I feel like that's not the case. You can just get Pact of the Blade. Hello, my friend. Hey, Tim. How's it going? We should specify that none of the packs, except for or near the packs. Repelling Blast, whatever. Thirsting Blade. Doesn't matter. Okay. So if we skip the prerequisites, this is problematic. But if we assume the prerequisites, other than the Warlock one, I think this is fine. Do we want to say that you gain that you have the prerequisites for? This one's getting complicated. This lasts for one... Oh, wait. This lasts for 1 minute. Treating your levels as Warlock levels. So if you're level 15, you can get Witch Sight. You know, you don't have to be a level 15 Warlock. Just has a massive Quake 2 co-op sesh with a new friend on Dimension of the Machine. Like, how are things with you? I'm doing good. I'm rolling along. Uh, you can swap out spells if you just did a long rest. Okay. So I feel like these are all concrete enough to be plugged into inspiration. They're not balanced, but they're concrete. So what I want to try is one more thing before actually I interrupt my thought with another thought. So all of these things are more powerful than the base inspiration. And what I like to do is think of mechanics in terms of power budget. So if you add features to a character, that increases their power. That makes them more powerful, obviously. That affects the difficulty of the game, the challenge of the game, which not everyone cares about, but some people do. And I don't want to ruin the game for people who are like, I want this game to be balanced. So what I like to do in that situation is we got to give ourselves the power budget to add some of these things. And in order to do that, because right now, the power budget is you can spend your inspiration to reroll 1d20. So anything that's more powerful than that is automatically unbalanced. But we can give ourselves more power budget if we say, okay, players can spend inspiration. Their opponents can also spend inspiration. So now, if we give our opponents, if we give like the DM the ability to be like, I can spend my DM inspiration to make this creature do more damage, then it's completely fair for players to be like, well, I can do that as well. So we need to think of just a couple of DM inspiration ideas. What is DM inspiration? How is that even possible? Because does the DM award that to themselves? How does that work? I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here. I'm just spitballing. How might the DM use inspiration? How might the DM get mechanics that balance out these buffs? If I wanted to make the game harder as a DM, and I wanted to do it in a way, because the DM can always just be like, the rocks fall on you, 40,000 goblins show up, like, this 10 million liches show up, and they all lightning bolt you. The DM can do that, but if there's a set of rules that tell the DM to do that, it doesn't feel like the DM is just flipping the table. It feels like they're actually playing the game. Like, if you just say 10,000 liches show up and lightning bolt you, the player's going to be like, all right, cool, this DM doesn't want to run D&D. I'm out of here. DM inspiration ideas equals music and art. That's not what I was angling for. I'm trying to give the DM tools to balance this out so that we can feel less bad about half of the things in this list. So, like, adding 5 to your AC against one attack might encourage the DM to never give out inspiration, and we want the DM to give out inspiration. So we want to give them like a little compensation for giving out this extra power. Aren't DM inspirations just legendary actions? Kinda, yeah. That's kind of. We can even write that down. Do a legendary action. That's totally fine. Change the weather. Make it hostile. Thinking. don't know, make reinforcements show up. What's something that a DM might do to make the game harder outside of combat? So like, the players lock a door is lock a door. That's not that good, but I wrote it down. If I keep going, eventually I'll get to a good idea. And then I'll take that, and then I'll throw away the bad ideas, and then I look smart. Just don't look at all this pile of bad ideas. Open a pit. Turn out the lights. All your torches go dark, and your lanterns, and everyone has dark vision. Damn it! Why is this in the game? Roll on the wild magic table. Oh, that's good. I like that. Roll on the wild magic table. Spend inspiration to make something happen. And you have to deal with it. One more, and then we can move on. Because I don't want to spend. I could be brainstorming forever, and I am. Just want to come up with one more. Okay. So there are other TTRPGs that have this idea where the DM can spend resources to make life easier or harder. What are some of the things you can do in like Star Wars? You can upgrade the consequences. You can make a villain show up. You can I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be very plain and right. Make a misfortune happen, and that is vague and not very like useful. If you are in the middle of a game and the players are in a dungeon and they're in like room 3 and they're dealing with goblins and they've just killed them, and you decide, I'm going to make a misfortune happen. What does that mean? How is that different from just the DM being like, the rocks fall? But I wrote it down so that I can move on. So my idea was that. So here's a big bucket of ideas. And you can't have them all. That's not how they're designed. They're designed so that you get one. But maybe it'd be more interesting if you don't, if not each player gets to pick one, but if the group gets to pick one. So the party gets to pick one. Or 2 or 3 or 4. So, okay. I'm going to write this down. So at the start of a campaign, the party chooses 3 of the additional ways to spend inspiration and 2 ways for the DM to spend inspiration. Let's go with 4 and 2. That way it's more of a... In a 4-player party, everybody gets their own. In a bigger party, some people get to share. Their choice. Everyone gets to use the additional ways, but you pick 4 of these, and you have to pick 2 of these. During the game, a player may choose a player who has with inspiration may choose to use one of the additional ways to spend their inspiration, gaining the benefit immediately. Once they do so, they can't use that way again until they finish a short rest. So if you're in a game where you're just getting inspiration nonstop, and I've never seen this happen, so I don't know why I'm imagining this. This is just like abuse protection. This really doesn't need to be here. In fact, let's just get rid of that line because it's taking up space. But the thought was that if you're in a game and the DM is like, hey, I like your name, you get inspiration. I like how you use that inspiration, you get inspiration. It's Tuesday, if you're just getting way too much inspiration, this says, all right, you're gonna break the game if you give out that much inspiration. Let's chill on the inspiration. I don't know. I think the DM can be an adult and handle how much inspiration they're giving out. But what we will say is afterwards, after you do this, the DM gets inspiration. If the DM would gain a 5th inspiration, they must immediately spend it instead. So every time you do a cool thing, the DM gets inspiration, and eventually, if a chill DM might be like, I never want to do these things, eventually they're gonna have to do these things. So they're not mean. The DM isn't mean. They're not trying to hurt you. The game is trying to hurt you. The DM is just there along for the ride. So you can't blame them if you do a cool thing and then suddenly all the doors lock. The DM didn't decide that. The game designer, decided that. And you know what? To make things a little fairer, what we might do is instead of saying the party gets to choose 4 of these, because some of these are better than others. Like that's not fair. What we can do is we can instead, as the designer, we can curate the list. We can say, instead of you getting to pick 4 of these options, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. I'm going to make a table. Let me see if I can make a table live. Heroic inspiration. DM inspiration. Okay, and let's just make this table 4 times. Wow. Okay. Cool. And then let's just copy, I think at random. Let's try a little harder to copy. Okay. Where was it? Oh, yeah, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got these 4 buckets, and you can choose a bucket. And now we do the thing where we squint really hard at this and we go, that's not balanced. And then we just shuffle the objects that we've set aside for us, and we make something that might be balanced. Probably not, but might be. You can do bonus damage on an attack. I never specified how much bonus damage. Let's say 2d10. You can manifest a minor story element. That is, we're going to go ahead and take that out and put in, what was the last element I picked? You can instantly steal 1 object. So what's after that? Not that this is a bad thing. I just don't think that's something I'm ready to commit to. You can do bonus damage on an attack. You can use meta magic 1 time without spending sorcerer points, even if you don't know the meta magic or are a sorcerer. You can get a first level spell slot back, or you can jump really far up to your speed instantly. But if you do, the DM gets to do a legendary action or change the weather environment at any time. When your characters level up, how much more damage do they do? Oh, I'm not even, I'm not even ready for that. Like in my game, they go from 2d6 to smash to level 1 to like 2d6 plus 1d6 plus 1d8 plus 1d10 level 15. So casters go up crazy, but the cantrips go up. It's 1 die from level 1s to 4. It's 2 die from levels 5 to 10. It's 3 dies from level 11 to 16. And it's 4 die from level 17 up. That's the cantrip. And then the actual damage, it's high. It's really high. It starts at 3d10, and I don't know. They should be doing more damage each at 5th level, at 11th level, and at 17th level. That's generally how it is. There are exceptions, like the paladin gets better spell slots, I think, at some point. That's not level 5, 11, or 17. And they can use those for bigger smites. The rogue gets more sneak attack every odd level. So their damage is just going up every 2 levels. Like, it's good. Maybe the barbarian goes up as well, off 5, 11, or 17. But other than that, they the damage shouldn't vary that much. So like at level 1, you're doing weapon damage. At level 5, you're doing twice your weapon damage. And at level 11... How is your character doing 2d6 plus 1d6 plus 1d8 plus 1d10 at 15? That's very particular. Is it so? No, I don't know how that's possible. I mean, it should be a lot higher, to be honest. Like the rogue at level 15, I believe, is doing weapon damage plus 7d6. 8d6. They're doing 8d6 damage at level 15. Plus each attack, which if they've got 2 short swords, each one does 1d6 damage plus their dex, which is 1d6 plus 5. So they're probably doing 10d6 plus 5 each round. And that's just the base rogue. Like, it's a lot of damage. It should be that much damage. And fighter is doing, if they're using a greatsword, they're doing 2d6 plus 5, but they're doing it 3 times at level 15. So 66 plus 15. Yeah, 2 extra attacks. Not counting if they're a battle master, they're adding their battle master to each attack. So they should be doing way more damage. Yeah. Okay, just looking at this bucket. Not looking at any of the buckets, because the other buckets are probably going to be more unfair, but just looking at this bucket. You can do bonus damage, you can use a meta magic 1 time, you can get a first level spell slot back, or you can jump really far. But your DM gets to change the weather whenever they want, or they can do a legendary action. That's... Honestly, I would take this. That seems like a fair deal. Like, legendary action, that's scary, but... being able to meta magic 1 time is probably going to be in situations where that's worth doing. You automatically succeed. Okay, we're gonna cut that. Automatically succeed on strength saving throws for the next minute. You can't be restrained or paralyzed. You can get your deity to offer a vague clue about what to do. You can give everyone else inspiration. They can't give it back to you until long rest. Let's say you can't get it back until Ella. They can't give it back to you. You can't receive inspiration until a long rest. From others until long rest. Or you can give yourself bardic inspiration on top of a reroll. Let's say plus 1d6 bardic inspiration. But if you do any of this, the DM can lock a door or make reinforcements show up. I don't think I'd like this one. I don't think I would pick this one. This one needs to be... We gotta try again. But let's... You can... Oh. can do a Battle Master maneuver without spending a maneuver dice, even if you don't have the maneuver. Using a D6 if you don't have a Battle Master dice. I think that's how it's supposed to be. There's a feat that gives you Battle Master feature. I'll just use the back button until I get there. No, I'm never getting there. All right. Let's take a look at the origin feats, because I'm pretty sure it's an origin feat. It is not. Let's take a look at the general feats. There's only 4 general feats? Oh, these are fighting styles. Okay. There's only 1 general feat. Ability score improvement. Okay, I see. Wow, there's no feats in the basic. Got it. There's a feat that gives you Battle Master dice. I think it's a D6, but it might be a D8. If it's a D8, this should be a D8. But anyway, so you can do a Battle Master maneuver. You can spend your inspiration to get a Battle Master maneuver 1 time. You can cast any Druid cantrip as a bonus action, even if you don't know it. You can jump really far, up to 4 times your speed. Damn. Or you can turn... Why did I do that? You can turn 1 attack against you from a hit to a miss. But if you do, you can open a pit somewhere or turn out the DM can open a pit somewhere or turn out the lights. Okay, this is way too powerful for this. This I feel is like, okay, I get it. Maybe we should swap, like, open up a pit and do a legendary action down here. Maybe if we made turn out the lights, like, a lot more brutal. And dark vision doesn't work. I don't know. That still seems like a lot. There's still a lot here. You can cast any Druid cantrip as a bonus action. You can jump really far. You can turn 1 attack against you from a hit to a miss. Alright, what about down here? You can add 5 to your AC against 1 attack. You can instantly channel positive energy to a target within 60 feet, healing them 5 hit points or removing the poison condition from them. You can save a creature from dying with this. Gain a climb speed equal to twice your movement speed for the next minute, or you instantly steal 1 object from another creature within reach. But if you do, DM gets to roll on the wild magic table, or make a misfortune happen. And this is so vague that it's impossible to say if this is balanced or not, so I'm not going to even try. This seems powerful, but if we cook up a really nasty wild magic table, or we stretch what make a misfortune happen means, I think this is actually pretty fair. Pretty fair, because this is powerful. It's not, like, unbeatably powerful, but it's powerful. This isn't doing anything that Healing Word isn't doing. This is gain a climb speed. Sure. Or instantly stealing an object. Okay, that can be pretty disruptive. So rolling on the wild magic table, also disruptive. If we make that wild magic table pretty mean, we remove the nice things. We keep a lot of the crazy, but we add a little bit more punch. This could be a great table option. So I don't know. Let's say custom. And then to do, because I'm not going to make a wild magic table today. This is that's probably fine. This needs to be jazzed up. This is probably too powerful. This could be good. We got 2 good, 1 too good, 1 too bad. What I would do from this point on, I'm gonna stop here. But what I would do if I was gonna continue is keep shuffling these around until I get some good options, because I think this has potential to be pretty fun. before I sign off, the party chooses one of these tables. And gains the additional ways to spend inspiration. And 2 ways for the DM to spend DM inspiration. After they do all right. That is, it's got some potential. I think with the right things to slot here, you have a real choice for your party to pick up. And maybe like 2 people really want this table. They really like that'll finish their build, and they really like wild magic. 3 people want this table. It's more, you know, it appeals to them, and it's more of the game tone that they want. Maybe you end up a situation where you play one campaign with this table, and then the next campaign with this table, you kind of get the encouragement to play more. Maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe I just invented that. If what I said is true, that's a good thing, because more games. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've got my dinner right here. I'm gonna eat it, and I don't want to eat it on stream, so I'm just gonna go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the inspiration. Thanks for the help in cooking this up, and hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having fun games out there. Play lots of D&D and have a good time. I'm gonna go. Bye, all. Thanks for watching. Bye.